All right, we're back with another player debate. We're going over different players at their positions at similar ADPs. You're with your host, Justin Henry, and I had to bring in my guy, Dan Titus from Yahoo Fantasy to talk this shit with me, baby. How you living, Dan?
I'm good, man. Ready to debate. You know, we always go on opposite sides of things, so yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, I know you can't be stealing on my takes, bro. So you know what I mean. These are winning takes on this side, my man. But first, let's get it rolling, man. So the very first one, right? And I know you know your shit, man. So this is going to be an interesting session. This first one, man, is a really good one. Lead backs on lead AFC teams. ISIAH Pacheco and Derrick Henry. Both of these guys, you know, not really big catchers of the football, but they're power runners, and they get a lot of red zone work, man. Who you like, ISIAH Pacheco or Derrick Henry?
It's not even close, man. Give me Pacheco. And I'm going to tell you that because if you're talking at cost, Pacheco's going like at least a round and a half, 2 rounds later than Derrick Henry. And if you're looking at the offenses, we got a lot of stuff going on in the Chiefs. They like to run the ball. They're going to continue to. I'm backing the best quarterback in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes, handing the ball off to Pacheco all day, every day. Give me Pacheco. He's going to have way more upside than Derrick Henry.
I mean, even best QB is debatable. And Lamar Jackson, we got an MVP right here with us. So I'm on the Derrick Henry side of this thing, man. And there's going to be a lot of touchdowns. We saw Gus Edwards go crazy. And imagine Derrick Henry in this offense, him in that pistol out the backfield, the misdirection. That's just going to go crazy, bro. I got Derrick Henry in this one. I don't think it's close. I think Derrick Henry is closer to top 5 than Pacheco is to top 10. That's what I think.
Top 5. I mean, he also got Lamar Jackson at that goal line too, right? Like, I mean, that's going to be taking off at least quite a few little tutties there that you thought that Derrick Henry was just going to be walking into. I mean, this isn't Will Levis here at quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is one of the best running quarterbacks we've ever seen. He's going to be getting some of them tutties, man.
You know what? And the one thing I like about Pacheco is he gets some receiving work, right? Like last year, we probably saw the most receiving work for Pacheco in his career. If he keeps getting that, he's going to be closer. But Derrick Henry, I mean, he might be a candidate for 20 touchdowns this season. That's where I'm at with him. You see the Titan hat. I'm not even a Titans fan. I'm just rocking the hat just so we can talk about the shit right now. That's why.
I hope he stays upright for that long, man. That's a lot of, I don't know, what's it going to cost you? Like 3rd round draft capital for Derrick Henry?
I'll get my receivers first, get Derrick Henry next. A little bit lower on the scale, right? A little bit lower when it comes to running backs. Not much further down, but 2 explosive backs that are a big part of their attack. Devin Achane and Alvin Kamara. Achane obviously exploded on the scene last year. Alvin Kamara has been a fantasy staple. Both similar RB2, high-end RB2 draft capital right now. Which one you like?
Bro, give me the track meet all day, Devin Achane. This man averaged 8 yards a carry when he was healthy. 8 yards a carry. That's not like Jamal Charles. That's not Chris Johnson. This is Devon Achane we're talking about right now. So you're giving me a full season's worth of work in that offense, that explosiveness, and one of the fastest teams in the NFL. Give me Devon Achane all day when I don't even know what we're getting out of Alvin Kamara. Like, who's even going to be the quarterback? Derek Carr? That's what we trusting in?
You know what? The beauty of it, Derek Carr is so trash, they have to rely on Alvin Kamara and have another season. Look, Alvin Kamara every year, you could bank on it. He's top 10. He had 3 games last year where he was suspended. Guess what? He was still top 14 back. So for me, I look at Alvin Kamara and I'm like, I know exactly what I'm getting. The pass catching work is there. They use him in the red zone. With Devin Achane, the thing is, man, I think I love him as a player, the explosiveness he brings, the explosiveness. But damn, we don't know if we're going to, like, is it him or Mostert? Who is it? Who's the dog there in that offense? Because Mostert's still around.
Oh, yeah. Mostert was solid. Mostert was real solid. He had his most solid season actually staying healthy. There's going to be question marks there. I'm always banking on the fact that Raheem Mostert will be amazing for like 5 or 6 games, and then something's going to happen. It didn't happen last year. Bet you it does this year. And when it does, you'll watch Devin Achane become the fantasy beast and probably a top 5 upside at the position. Whereas you look at Alvin Kamara, you're just looking at floor. All I see is consistency. Oh, he does 10 points a game doing this. Where's the upside? That upside is gone in that offense. New Orleans Saints are going to probably be one of the worst teams in the division. So, yeah, I'm good on
upside. You're talking about 6 TD in the championship game, Alvin Kamara upside? That's the upside we get.
How many years ago was that?
I mean, that's like 2-3 years ago now, but hey, we can still.
Yeah, that's a long time ago in fantasy terms.
You know, but you're right, man. The ceiling for Devin Achane is crazy. Like, especially if he can get the starting role or at least just up his touches to about 15 to 20 touches. The only problem with him is the frame. And we know that with him too. Like, he could get hurt. So You know, you made some good points there, man. But I'm still sold on Alvin, man. You know, we can continue to talk about elite backs, right? Everybody has that debate. But what about some of these like bottom of the gutter, new potential starters? Who you like out of these new two additions for the Bengals? Zach Moss came over off of a pretty good season with the Indianapolis Colts, and then Gus Edwards, who's presumed to be the starting back right now for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Zach Moss here because I like the system switch. And let's not forget, like Zach Moss was actually a really good back last year. He was efficient. He got the touchdowns. And you're telling me he's stepping into a situation where Joe Mixon just scored 12 total touchdowns? I'll take Zach Moss. And at cost, give me Zach Moss all day.
You know, Moss is cool. They got Chase Brown over there.
He's cool? Who's Chase Brown?
Cool. But I look at Gus Edwards, and you know, you talked about systems, and there's one thing as a 49er fan, I know this all too well. When you have Greg Roman, you're doing one thing and one thing only, and that's running the damn football. So Gus Edwards, fresh off of 15 touchdowns with the Ravens, who's already been in Greg Roman's offense before, knows the offense now. And Justin Herbert obviously has the arm that's going to make defenses have to respect the run game. I like Gus Edwards a lot this year, and I think if he gets the volume, the bell cow volume, we could be seeing an RB2 season from Gus Edwards, who he finished as the RB25 last year as a backup.
Yeah, there's another guy there, though, isn't there? Was his name J.K. Dobbins or something?
Yeah, J.K.
I heard he's fully healthy, I hear now, right? Like,
you know what they say about just healthy, but J.K. Just kidding. Because he ain't ever healthy. He's never healthy. My dude tears an ACL or Achilles every season, it feel like.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm actually kind of intrigued by Gus Edwards there because they got Jim Harbaugh. We know how much he loves to run the ball. Then you couple that with the Greg Roman. I think it's a great point. He's already familiar there. I mean, he should run away with the job, but I don't know. A healthy JK.
Well, let me ask you this, though, because you were in on Zach Moss, but Chase Brown, right? And you kind of shrugged it off, but Chase Brown was a player who played decent towards the end of last year. He had some pop plays. You don't think he's going to be a more vital part of the offense there?
No. I mean, I feel like they gave Moss a decent amount of money for where he is in his career. There is a financial investment there, but then also, like, I just feel like if Chase Brown couldn't beat out like a 3 yards per carry Joe Mixon, who literally couldn't do anything but score touchdowns, I don't know. You brought in Zach Moss for a reason, right? Because he wasn't the guy. I don't know that we're going to see that much Chase Brown really make an impact in terms of Zach Moss's fantasy appeal here.
Might be more of like a change of pace type thing, unfortunately, for Chase Brown. We'll have to see. Yeah. Maybe during the season he gets some more work, but it's always tough with those committees. One committee we got to talk about, I'm wearing their hat right now, Tennessee Titans. This is going to be a fun committee, I think, for fantasy, a little underrated, actually. A lot of expectations last season for Tony Pollard. There were people placing him as like a top 5 back heading into the fantasy year. And then the team also drafted TYJAE Spears last year, and he played pretty well alongside Derrick Henry. Both of these backs now are going to be in the mix for carries, whether you got a 1A, 1B committee. Who do you like the best out of this? And we can account for draft spot because they're probably going to be drafted similarly, Tony Pollard or TYJAE Spears.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the youth and the guy that actually showed me that he can run between the tackles and actually not sustain an injury, and that's TYJAE Spears. I think he just has the upside here. Obviously has the familiarity with the offense, playing behind Derrick Henry. I think he showed out pretty well in Henry's absence last year. I think this is going to be he's going to lean more into this timeshare than Tony Pollard, who I think will actually end up as more of the change of pace, being how well he was in that role when he was with Dallas. He's just not built to be able to handle this type of workload. And I think TYJAE Spears, with his size and build, I think definitely has more upside here going into the season.
Yeah, both of them good pass catching backs. The thing I like about Tony Pollard more than I like about TYJAE Spears is that he's had the starters reps. So even though he wasn't, he got banged up at times. It's like we saw him in a full workload type role. We ain't really seen that out of TYJAE Spears yet. So I like Tony Pollard actually. And, I think it's so easy to look at what he did last year and be like, he was trash. Or he didn't live up to expectations. He was the RB14. So, and I think in the year before that, he was a top 10 running back in Dallas, even as the backup. So I think whether we get like good TYJAE Spears or not, it doesn't matter because in the change of pace role, I think Tony Pollard could still be a top 25 back, and he's going outside of that right now.
So the question is Pollard the value pick, whereas TYJAE, like I feel like he's going after Tony Pollard. So like I'd actually be more interested in either way. It's going to be the timeshare. Who's going to win out on that? I'll take the guy that's cheaper that I think has more upside, being that we've already seen what Tony Pollard can do. His best days might be behind him. That's also a possibility.
Yeah, that is
but we'll
true.
see.
TYJAE Spears, the young guy. I'm still taking Pollard. The upside's crazy with Pollard because if he hit, the one thing is if Tony Pollard hits, it's a dub, a big dub. All right, and then the last one we got to go over two names with J-Dub, the battle of J-Dub running backs. Interesting there. Javonte Williams, who's the starter for the Denver Broncos, or Jaylen Warren, who is backup / presumed starter for some people, depending on who you ask, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Both of them in pretty good situations. One of them coming off of a disappointing season in Javonte, the other kind of in a surprising role on the upside, on the upswing. Jaylen Warren, who you like?
I'm gonna go with Jaylen Warren here because I know you are the Najee Harris truther fan, Stan, whatever you need to say to back Najee Harris just being that dude. He is not. They declined his player option for a reason because he's cheeks. And at this point, it's like Jaylen Warren is the next man up. He averaged over 5 yards a carry. He's going to have a more explosive offense now that he actually has a competent quarterback playing the position in Russell Wilson, maybe Justin Fields. We'll see how long it takes for that to happen. But either way, Jaylen Warren has proven to be the better back. Najee still has his place, but I think we're going to see his workload kind of scale back as we see Jaylen Warren's role expand, as he's shown that he needs more touches the more this season goes on.
I think when it comes to Jaylen Warren, like I respect who he is. The reason why I'm going to take Javonte Williams, though, is he's the lead back on this Denver Broncos team that has nothing else. We don't even know who the quarterback situation is. And don't tell me you think somebody else is going to take over.
Jaleel McLaughlin. We're not talking about Jaleel McLaughlin. Was he not the guy?
Starting reps here.
Was he not a guy?
Hey, listen.
I had Javonte Williams last year. It was hella frustrating. Like, all dude did was get all the way to the goal line and then never see any freaking goal line touches.
Listen, so like, he was coming off an ACL injury. What do you expect out of Javonte Williams? Coming off an ACL injury, Sean Payton no matter work him in there, and now they have no quarterback. Now it's either
Breece Hall was coming off of a knee injury too. What happened to him? Putting up 30-point weeks. I'm still waiting on Javonte. Like, bro, where you at?
He's no Breece Hall, but Javonte is solid, and we saw him before that. Before the injury, we're talking about him as like a top 10, 12 back. And now we're getting him down in the, in the back end RB3 range. And to me, when I look at Jaylen Warren, he don't even have a lock on the starting gig. So how are we going to sit there and say, you're going to down talk Javonte, but he got to beat out Najee Harris for touchdowns, for carries. And Javonte, and to me, Jaylen Warren is a pure PPR guy. Like,
I think
he don't have a whole lot of upside.
Ooh, I think that you're underrating Jaleel McLaughlin here, because I feel like he's going to siphon more of those touches that you're assuming are going to go to Javonte. This is Sean Payton's team now. He's made that much clear by doing what he did in the QB room, moving some of those wide receivers. Like, at this point, I feel like now he picked McLaughlin. He inherited Javonte Williams. This is going to be more of a timeshare than you think.
They drafted two. They drafted it back and then they picked one up undrafted too. And they're calling him one of them the Joker. They're saying he's baby Alvin Kamara. I forget his name. I just picked him up actually in Dynasty.
Oh, Dynasty?
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Blake something I want to say. I can't remember his last name. But yeah, it's Sean Payton, man. He's one of those guys. Once he finds his guys, he's him. It's just, is he going to be Javonte this year is the big question. So that does it for this episode of the Player Battles. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Obviously, my guy, Dan, you're welcome back anytime to debate players.
I appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. Until the next one. Peace out.
Peace.